So now that the iPhone 17 is here, we're going to see some changes in the used iPhone market. We'll start to see newer iPhones, and we'll also start to see some price drops in some of the used iPhones. So if you're out there and you want to get yourself a used iPhone in late 2025 or in early 2026, then you've come to the right video. In this video, I'm going to share with you a list of some of the best used iPhones that I recommend for you to get. So let's get to it. How's it going, everyone? My name is Musa Nziane and I am a South African tech YouTuber, and my goal with this channel is to help you make the best buying decisions on your tech. I do so by making videos on unboxing, tips and buyer's guides. So if this is something that you're interested in, be sure to consider subscribing to the channel. And now the first used iPhone that I recommend that you can buy right now is the iPhone 15 Plus. So the iPhone 15 Plus is mainly for people who want an iPhone with a bigger screen, similar size as to what you'd get on the Pro Max iPhones. However, they don't have that much money to spend on a Pro iPhone, but they do want that bigger size screen. So if you don't have a budget for a Pro Max iPhone, or if you don't care much about Pro features, but you do want yourself a bigger iPhone, this is the right iPhone to get. The prices have dropped because this iPhone was introduced 2 years ago in 2023. So you will start to see a lot of these at an affordable price on the used market. And the iPhone 15 Plus has a bigger battery, so you should be able to find one that still has a good battery. And it also had USB-C. So if you want to use some USB-C accessories, or if you just want an iPhone that has a newer port. The iPhone 15 Plus also came in some nice colors. And also the screen brightness can go up to 2000 nits of brightness, so that is a good one. However, there is about 3 downsides on the iPhone 15 Plus. So the first one is that this iPhone will only come with 60 Hz display. So that is the amount of refresh on your screen. So when you're scrolling, the animations, how fast the phone feels. So it won't come with 120 Hz, which is a promotion. However, for the average person, this almost doesn't matter. So if you don't know what 60 Hz, 120 Hz means, don't worry about this. It probably won't matter to you. And trust me, I've used both an iPhone with 60 Hz and an iPhone with 120 Hz. And I must say the refresh rate only matters mostly if you are coming from a 120 Hz and downgrading to a 60 Hz, you might notice it. And also if you are aware of what that is, but if you're not aware, you probably won't see much. And also I can tell you the iPhone is somewhat better optimized, and the average person, like I said, if you don't know what I'm talking about, it probably won't matter to you. So that's the one downside. So the iPhone 15 Plus starts from 128 gig of storage, which might not be enough for you if you want a lot of storage. And the other downside is the iPhone 15 Plus does not support Apple Intelligence. So if you do want Apple Intelligence, if you want an iPhone that supports native or built-in Apple AI, then this iPhone won't support that. So if that matters to you, then you should be looking at other iPhones, but not this one. But you probably heard on the news that Apple Intelligence is not yet ready. It's still in a beta version. They're still trying to improve it. They're trying to work on it. So probably for the next few months, it won't matter. Right now, we don't even know how good it will get when they finally find like a workaround on it. So you can still get some AI. You can still use like a ChatGPT. You can use Gemini. You can use other chatbots really if you do want AI for now. So you decide if there's a deal breaker to you or not. The next iPhone that you get, it's also another Plus model, and this one is newer, and it's the iPhone 16 Plus. So if you want everything that is on the 15 Plus, but you do say that you also want Apple Intelligence, then you can consider the iPhone 16 Plus. And also the iPhone 16 Plus will also come with newer buttons such as the camera control button, which you won't find on the iPhone 15 Plus. So if you want a little bit of those newer features, if you want that button, which I also think it's cool, to have that dedicated shutter button, it kind of makes the phone feel like a traditional camera, then you can definitely get the iPhone 16 Plus. And again, the iPhone 16 Plus is actually one of the cheapest ways to get yourself Apple Intelligence. It also does come also with newer and faster processors, so meaning that in terms of the number of years that the iPhone will be supported, you'll probably get one more update compared to the 15 Plus. And the third iPhone that you can consider buying used, considering that we are talking about Apple Intelligence, is the standard iPhone 16. So this is the smaller version of the iPhone 16. So if you don't want a bigger iPhone, Trust me, there are people who don't want a bigger iPhone because the smaller iPhone is actually easier to use with one hand. And if you're just used to the smaller version of the iPhones, because the bigger ones like the Plus and the Pro Maxes, those are heavy and not so easy to use with one hand. So if you do want a standard or you're used to a standard, you can get yourself a used iPhone 16 and that will support Apple Intelligence. So aesthetics wise, it will have the new buttons that you can find on a modern iPhone. And just like the iPhone 15 Plus and the iPhone 16 Plus, in terms of downsides, the screen is going to be a 60 Hz refresh screen, and you'll also get 128 gig of base storage. The iPhone 16 was launched last year, but right now, because the iPhone 17 is out, you'll start to see a lot of iPhone 16s on the used market. And of course, because the 16 and the 16 Plus were only launched last year, you'll definitely get a much better battery on this one. The next used iPhone that you can get is the iPhone 15. So I was using an iPhone 15 myself until recently. Very good iPhone. It has all of the features that the iPhone 15 Plus has. The only difference is the size. So it is not as big as the iPhone 15 Plus. So if you don't want a bigger size and you want a standard size iPhone, you can definitely get the standard iPhone 15. However, downsides similar to the iPhone 15 Plus, it will not support Apple Intelligence, unfortunately, and the refresh rate, the screen is a 60 Hz, and again, the base storage is a 128 gig. However, for all of these first four iPhones that I spoke about right now, you will definitely get them at good prices. And something that I've noticed is that if you look, there are still some stores that have these iPhones brand new. So just be careful, compare the used price versus the new price. Sometimes really the difference is like 1,000 rands and you might as well just get it brand new if you do find it at a very good deal. And again, for the Plus iPhones, these are the last ones that you can get because they got rid of the Plus model and they replaced it with the iPhone Air model. So it might be that the Plus models are going to become like the mini models, the iPhone 12 mini and the 13 mini, which a lot of people still want, but they'll be scarce. So if you know that you still want the Plus model of the standard iPhone, this might be a chance to actually get your hands on one. So compare the prices and make sure that you get the best deal possible. And by the way, if you're enjoying this video up to so far, if you're getting some value out of it, be sure to share it with your friends. Be sure to hit a like button. That helps the video reach out to more people. Let's continue. Now, the next two iPhones that I'm going to recommend that you can buy used are the iPhone 15 Pro Max and the iPhone 15 Pro. So the iPhone 15 Pro was the first iPhone to come with a titanium finish. So if you still prefer a titanium finish, you can definitely look at getting this iPhone. The iPhone 15 Pros were also the first iPhones to support a faster USB-C and faster speeds on the USB-C. And they also support Apple Prologue, which is a video format that records a few more details, almost like a traditional camera, which you can color code and edit later on and get sharper video output. So if that's something that you want to do, if you're a pro user, but you don't want to spend a lot of money, then you can definitely look at the iPhone 15 Pro Max and the iPhone 15 Pro. Again, which one you go for will depend on your budget, first of all, and also the size. Which size do you prefer the most? However, the 15 Pro Max does come with a much better zoom. So it will come with a 5x zoom. That is a better zoom compared to the regular iPhone 15 Pro. And the good thing is that these are the iPhone 15s that support Apple Intelligence, unlike the standard 15 and the 15 Plus. Those don't support, but the Pros do support Apple Intelligence. So again, one of the phones that are the cheapest way to get a device that is going to support Apple Intelligence, meaning that even with software support, these will probably get a few more years. So those are some of the features that you'll be getting on the 15 Pro Max and the 15 Pro. So here you're getting a titanium finish, you're getting an action button, you are getting a 120 Hz ProMotion display, you're getting Prologue recording. So really you're getting a lot of Pro features. The iPhone 15 Pro was actually the iPhone that Apple really bumped up in terms of the zoom and also in terms of the processor chip. This is where they introduced the Pro processor chips, and this is where they started to like push things up a little bit when it comes to like ray tracing gaming and AAA gaming. So this is where we start to see most of these newer features. They actually came from the iPhone 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max, which makes these two phones still relevant. And if you can get them at a good price, used or even new, just consider getting these iPhones, especially if you are a Pro user. Now the next iPhone is the iPhone 16 Pro. So I recommend the iPhone 16 Pro if you do want that camera control button and if you want a little bit better zoom. And also this still come with some good colors. The iPhone 17 didn't really get a lot of color options, so like your black was not there, your natural titanium was not there, but here you can still get black, you can still get natural titanium. So yes, if that color matters to you, you can also look at the iPhone 16 Pro lineup and the iPhone 15 Pro lineup. The 16 Pro Max, I wouldn't necessarily recommend that because really if you look at it, the pricing is somewhat tricky, because for what you pay for a used iPhone 16 Pro is probably something that you can just top up a little bit and you can get yourself an iPhone 17 Pro instead. So it's a bit tricky in terms of whether it is a good buy used right now. So I'd say don't be looking at the iPhone 16 Pro Max. If you find yourself looking at that, then also consider looking at the iPhone 17 Pro, because the amount that you're going to spend there is probably somewhere closer to the iPhone 17 Pro. So that is something to be on a lookout for, but you can definitely get it used if you do want, especially if you prefer a Pro Max iPhone. And the next iPhones that I want to recommend are iPhones for people that are a bit lower the budget. So if you're a bit lower on the budget and you want a Pro iPhone, look at the iPhone 14 Pro Max and the iPhone 14 Pro, and also the iPhone 13 Pro Max and the iPhone 13 Pro. First up, let us talk about the 14 Pro Max and the 14 Pro. So the 14 Pro Max and the 14 Pro are basically, they will come with newer features such as dynamic island and bumped up 48 megapixel cameras. So in terms of the notch and in terms of the camera setup, they have the 48 megapixel fusion cameras, main cameras, and they also have dynamic island notch, which makes them be a bit more on the modern iPhone side. So look at those, look at the pricing for those ones. I don't think you can find them brand new, so you definitely have to look in the used market. The other phones that you can look at is the iPhone 13 Pro and the iPhone 13 Pro Max. One thing to make note of on these ones is that they have the older or the previous generation, if I can call it that, design, which use an older notch. They do, however, come with ProMotion display, but they won't have dynamic island. You will get, however, slightly better zoom. However, for these four iPhones, I'd say check the battery life, because these are slightly older, so just be sure to check the battery life. So if you're a Pro user and you want an iPhone that has slightly better zoom and 3 cameras, and you also want a ProMotion display, these iPhones are for you. And the last iPhone that I'll recommend that you can buy used is the iPhone 13, the standard iPhone 13. So you can definitely get yourself a standard iPhone 13. This is for people who say, I just want a decent camera, I just want an iPhone, I like iOS, and that's it. Nothing more than that. The iPhone 13 is definitely that phone for you. You'll be able to get some good 4K videos, and you'll be able to get some good quality photos. And that is it. We've come to the end of this list of the best used iPhones that you can buy on the market right now. There is quite a lot of used iPhones that you can get right now. As you can see, the list is bigger now, so just look around, find the best deal for you, and just check what are you looking for. Are you looking for a Pro model? What is your budget and all of that? There should definitely be something for everyone on every budget on this list. Some of the iPhones that I did not recommend is the iPhone 14, which I never recommend because it's as good as the iPhone 13. I always recommend the iPhone 13. The iPhone 16 Pro as well. The iPhone 16 Pro Max, I've mentioned that is a bit more expensive, so that I did not recommend as well. And all of the older iPhones, iPhone 12, 11, going back, those ones I don't recommend, simply because some of those won't be getting the next update, so you'll probably be running an outdated iOS. So really, I don't recommend those because of the updates. But the cameras, some of them are still decent. I mean, like your iPhone X, XR, they still take like decent pictures. That's one thing that's good about iPhones, is that the cameras on average, they take good quality pictures. So you can consider them if you don't care about the software updates, but I do not recommend them. And some of them also, they come with 64 gig of storage only, so I don't recommend those as well. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what do you think, and let me know if there is a used iPhone that I've left out that you think people should also consider. Let me know on the comments below. Also, let me know which iPhone I'm using right now. Are you considering upgrading? If you want to see more recommendations on used iPhones, best value iPhones, the best iPhones, basically any list that you can think of on iPhones, I'm going to drop links on my other videos and you can watch those. Consider subscribing to the channel if you like this type of content. I'll catch you on the next one.